Hi everyone. In this video, I want to talk about the notion of holding something gently, and that something is really an internal experience or a feeling, a belief, a thought, an opinion, something where there's a strong level of resistance or intensity to it. Now, one of the things that most people talk about is the notion of letting it go. Personally, for me, I find the notion of letting it go to be a difficult one. How do you just let something go when you care about its outcome, the way it unfolds? It's really difficult to do. And most people, when they give you that advice, they don't really tell you how to let something go, because letting something go is honestly damn near impossible. So instead, what I like to do is I like to hold it gently. So usually when you have a intense emotion or experience or something that's occurring that you want to control or have a say in or even manipulate and change and just do something with, to try to control it, you hold it in a very specific way, right? So let's say I'm just going to show you a physical representation of it to kind of give you an idea of what I'm talking about. So let's say this is the emotion. And the way we normally hold on to the emotion is kind of like this. You grip onto it, right? You hold on to it really, really tight. And this is remote control, so it's a perfect example of wanting control. You hold on to it really, really tight. So the idea of letting it go is really, really hard. You can't just like open your hand and let it fall. It almost feels like there's resistance to the idea of just letting it go, right? Sorry, Elsa, it's very difficult to do. But instead, what you want to do is you want to just hold it gently. So you're not gripping onto it. You're not trying to control the way it unfolds. You're just holding it gently. In a minute, I'm gonna show you how to do that. But so when you hold it gently, what you do is you release your grip on it, but you don't completely let it go where it just plops down to the ground, right? So you're not saying, "Oh well, I don't care. Whatever happens, happens," because that's really difficult to do when you care about the situation or the person or whatever it is. So you kind of just release the tension around it and you allow it to be. So instead of letting it go, you let it be. So you're still in some ways involved. So you're not completely removing yourself out of the situation. You're still involved. So that helps with the resistance to letting it go. So you're still here. I'm still here. I'm still involved, but I'm not going to try to control it. I'm going to let it be and I'm going to let it unfold naturally. And that's the process of holding it gently. So, one of the ways that you can do that is to kind of find that physical representation of the resistance and the grip and the tension within your body. Like when you think about it and you feel that strong need to kind of step in and control it and to maneuver it and to change it and to shift it. You take a deep breath. You find that specific feeling of that need to control it. And you find how it shows up in your body. And it, most of the time for me anyway, it feels like just that, like a hand gripping onto something, like a fist, tight fist in my gut. So what I like to do is I like to sit and I like to imagine that fist in my gut, that tightness, and I like to imagine slowly releasing my fingers as I open that hand. So depending on how you envision that feeling and what it looks like. It could be a knot, so you could just kind of slowly feel the knot opening itself up and just kind of like letting it breathe. So you're not really gripping on tight. You're letting it breathe. You're letting it kind of move and maneuver and change if it wants to. So you're not trying to change it. You're just letting it be so that it can change, so that it can unfold naturally the way that it wants to. So when you do this, so you're still holding it, right? It's still there. So that kind of answers the anxiety of, I can't just let this go. Like I can't just let it out there all willy-nilly. So you're still there with it. You're still there with the experience. You're not denying it. You're not pushing it away. You're not distracting it. You're still with it. But you're just releasing your grip on it and you're letting it be. And you're giving it a chance to change and alter and unfold in a natural way, in a way that is more natural for it to unfold. So if it's an emotion, you just hold it gently. And this is something I do myself when I can feel a tension rising, when I feel like I want to control something, I want to jump in, I want to do something. I just take a deep breath and internally I say, hold it gently, Emily. And I just kind of breathe into that feeling. And I can just feel the hand just opening up. And it naturally makes me want to sigh. I can feel my body kind of coming back into ease. And then I can just let it be. And it will naturally change. We don't really need to change too much. Our internal processes do have their own cycle of kind of rising and falling and intensity and dissipation. They're kind of like waves. And so when it comes to the top of the wave, we kind of freak out about it, right? We think, oh no, like I'm in this heightened state. I have to do something about it. Well, it's really natural for the wave to come up and then come down without you really doing much. You just have to let go of your grip. So when it comes to your internal experiences of that resistance, that intensity, you really only need to let it be. It's a process. Let it come back down. Let it do whatever it needs to do to come back down and finish its process. You don't have to control it. Now, I do have another video on here that is the Feel Your Feelings mindfulness exercise. If you practice that just a few times, it will help you kind of release your grip on whatever internal experience that you might have. It will help you learn how to hold it gently. That one's is really more about just releasing it entirely, which could be a little bit difficult to do. So if you can't completely release it, again, just do that exercise, but try to imagine holding it gently and see if it disappears. See if it goes away. See if it closes out that loop, that cycle. Most of the time it will. That doesn't mean it's not going to come back up later at another time from another trigger. It just means that you closed it this time. Next time it might be less intense. The frequency might be less. The experience will be entirely different. And then just do the exercise again, practice it again, and it'll be less and less. And as you practice it, it becomes easier to just hold things gently. And it becomes easier to just let it go next time. So if you can't let it go, it's perfectly fine. Just hold it gently and let it be.